Everyone talks about getting married, but very few people talk about what happens when children finally arrive. They say love will guide you, they say you will figure it out. But nobody tells you this. Parenthood doesn't heal you, it will expose you. It exposes your patience, your anger, and your unresolved childhood wounds. One day you hear yourself speaking the same tunes, the same words you swore you will never use. And then it hits you. You don't just become a parent, you become a mirror of what you never healed. This video isn't to scare you away from children. It is to help you prepare before love turns into pressure. If you want to raise children differently, you need to prepare differently. Before we become parents, we must first become whole. Because parenthood doesn't start in the delivery room, it begins in the soul. Before you bring a child into the world, ask yourself, what version of me will this child meet first? The healed one, or the one still learning to love themselves? Every child deserves to live in a peaceful home, and that home begins inside you. Before a child arrives, a soul must awaken. Before a baby takes its first breath, the parents must learn to confront their own ghosts. Because you don't give birth to a child, you give birth to a future consciousness. 1. We prepare for parenthood by buying things, cribs, bottles, soft blankets. But how many people prepare their inner world before bringing in a child? Every child listens long before they speak. They feel the fear you hide. They breathe in the peace you cultivate, or the fear and pain you postpone. We prepare for so many things: careers, milestones, weddings. But very few people prepare for parenthood at the level of the heart. You don't need to be perfect to be ready. You just need to be present. Because your child will not only inherit your DNA, they will inherit your emotional rhythm. They will learn peace from your calm, trust from your patience, and love from how you treat yourself. So before they arrive, begin the quiet work. Heal the place that still aches. Make peace with the parts of your story that you never tell. 2. Mirror of love. Children are mirrors, not projects. They will reflect not just what you see, but who you are. But who you are when no one is watching. If you rush through your emotions, they will learn to hide theirs. Your silence becomes their insecurities. If you speak to yourself kindly, they will grow up knowing they are enough. Your calm becomes their safety. If you live with resentment, they will grow up feeling unsafe in joy. Your self-hatred becomes confusion. Your healing becomes their inheritance. Parenthood is not about shaping a child into perfection. It's about becoming a safe reflection they can trust. What will it look like to raise a child from healed love and not inherited pain? Because the greatest parenting begins long before conception. It begins in the secret healing of your soul. 3. Healing before holding. Every parent carries a story they swore they will never repeat. Before you hold a child, hold yourself. Unresolved pain is loyal. It finds new ways to live. Before you protect them, protect your peace. Because what we don't heal, we hand down. It hides in how we love. What we don't face, we force our children to feel. It whispers in how we love, even when we feel we've moved on. Your wounds may not be your fault, but it shapes how you react. But your healing is your responsibility. And every step you take towards wholeness, every apology you whisper to your heart, creates space for your future children to live freely. Until we face it, our children becomes the mirror of our unfinished healing. Before you build a nursery, build your inner calm. The initiation of awareness. Parenthood is not just biological, it is spiritual initiation. It asks, can you build love without control? Can you guide without projecting? Can you protect without imprisoning? Every conscious parent must die to ego, die to illusion of perfection, and rise as a safe place for another soul to unfold. Parenthood is sacred responsibility, not to create perfect children, but to nurture souls that can rest in their humanity. It's the gentle act of guiding without control, disciplining without shame, and loving without conditions. It's teaching you being, and being begins with healing. You don't own your children, you steward their destinies. And you are chosen not because you are perfect, but because you are willing to evolve. 4. The initiation of awareness. Before you bring children into your home, bring peace into your mind. Bring clarity into your relationship. Bring softness into your spirit. Because your emotional climate will become their emotional weather. 5. Preparing the soul. Preparing the soul for parenthood is not about having all the answers. It's about having the humanity to keep learning. It's about being aware. It's about learning to pause, to listen, to say I'm sorry, and to love yourself enough to teach your children that same grace. Parenthood begins with self-compassion. The more you understand yourself, the better you understand them. Prepare your soul by releasing the guilt you inherited. Prepare your mind by learning what love really looks like, not what fear made it. Prepare your heart by forgiving your parents, not because they were right, but because you deserve peace to raise peace. Parenthood is not a role, it's a vibration. Your energy becomes their first language. Your emotional temperature becomes their weather. So make your soul a safe home. Before you bring life into the world, bring light into your soul. You cannot guide where you have not gone. You cannot give what you have not become. Parenthood begins long before the child. It begins with your awakening. Before you become someone's parent, become someone's peace. Before you teach love, become love. Because every generation is waiting for one person to heal, and it could be you. This is Before I Do, a journey of reflection, healing, and awareness. A mirror, a map, and a movement. Because building a family starts with building yourself first. And love begins before the I do, and so does family.